Friend and Foe Adventure Co. is an immaturely mature podcast. Content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello and welcome back to Friend and Foe Adventure Co. Or welcome to Friend and Foe Adventure Co. if this is your first time listening, because this is going to be a recap episode. We wrote a recap in character to cover episodes 1 through 69. Nice. We tried to cover as much as we could, but that is a lot of episodes, so I'm sure that we missed some things throughout, and probably even some important things throughout. But if you're jumping in here, then our goal is to hopefully get you enough information that you will be able to join in the present stuff and not be totally lost, that you'll be able to enjoy it and understand at least somewhat what's going on and a feel for the world and the characters. We are an actual play podcast that uses Bunkers and Badasses. Bunkers and Badasses is a TTRPG that's based on the Borderlands 2 DLC Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. The characters in Borderlands 2 end up playing Bunkers and Badasses, which is like the Dungeons and Dragons in the Borderlands world. And then they ended up doing a spin-off video game called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and that's that same type of thing. So there's a lot of sci-fi elements and there are fantasy elements. I would say it's more fantasy in that there's like orcs and goblins and elves and all those races, gold for money, magic, and a lot of tropes that are set in that fantasy setting. But then there's some sci-fi elements like robots and mechs and some tech, but we don't have space travel. There's no spaceships. They don't go out into outer space. And then we do a homebrew world, so we can kind of introduce our own elements, and we don't necessarily tie to the video games. So like there is Pandora. There's a region called Pandora, and that is set with like, there's a quest from the book, The Quest for the Wizard's Wand, and that's how we started the show. And it had Tarquin, who is a character here played by Phil. I ran that as a test. You can hear it in the main episodes as well. But in that Pandora area is where you have like Marcus and Moxie and characters that you might be more familiar with, but we don't really interact much with that area. They do exist. There is that. But where our adventure takes place is mostly in Alaspis, which is a region to the east of Pandora. And in that region, it is pretty lawless. There's no big government. There are guilds, which are the manufacturers from Borderlands, essentially. The guilds are weapon manufacturers, and a lot of the guns have different abilities based on which guild makes them. But in Alaspis, there's Geohold, which is one of the bigger cities, and that's where our adventure kind of starts off, and they end up joining Friend and Foe Adventure Co., which is an adventurers for hire type company. They're called Vault Hunters, but you can really just think of them as adventurers or bounty hunters. They go and they do jobs. They'll pick up jobs, they get jobs. There are rumors of vaults in this world. So Vault Hunter, if you look at the video games, kind of is a little bit different here. As far as actually hunting for vaults, they still do that, but vaults are almost like Borderlands 1 style vaults where it's a rumor of a vault. There's never been necessarily like a real finding, or at least a known finding of one, at least at the start of our show. Our adventurers, we've got Phil, who plays Tarquin. We've got Kimmy, who plays Fayleon, and she's got a hummingbird companion named Pigeon. We've got Kyle, who plays Mercurius, and he has a mech named Pancake. And then we've got Matt, who plays Good Boy. He's a psycho with it's kind of like a wolf moon shirt, but it's tie-dye, and it's a skag with the moon behind him. And the show is very silly. We don't take ourselves very seriously. There are definitely moments of drama. There's definitely tears that have been shed on the show because it gets so dramatic or so emotional. But we, most of the time, are just goofing off, and we don't take ourselves too seriously, which I think fits that Borderlands humor very, very well, if I do say so myself. But you may notice that Phil has an accent. So at some point we decided, oh, he's from another region. So south of Pandora and Alaspis is New Albion, which is much more civilized than the rest of our world, essentially. It's much more steampunk as well. The other places are much more like magic or lawless and this type of stuff. This place has order. There's laws. There's a military. There's a queen. It's a lot more steampunk. Magic is still around there, but it's a little bit less prevalent. It's a little less used because there's the convenience of technology there. So in this recap that you're about to hear, we wrote it. It's one of the only scripted things we've done on the show at this point. It was really fun to write and record. But when we recorded it, we didn't do introduction. So Phil has his own podcast, Organized Fun. Normally he reviews board games on it, but he has also played Kids on Bikes, Kids on Brooms, and now is playing Teens in Space on their actual play style, right? And those episodes air kind of between the reviews. And it has been an absolute blast playing Teens in Space with him, as well as Alison, who I have here. I have both Phil and Alison here. Phil, who I mentioned, plays Tarquin on the show. And then Alison plays Lucinda, who is his sister. And they have such a good back and forth with each other. I love having them both on the show. They're great bickering siblings, such good chemistry. So they were kind enough to stick around so that I could do this Frivolous Facts with somebody else around so that it wasn't just me talking the whole time. Which at the beginning of the show, we usually start by introducing ourselves and then doing a frivolous fact about our characters or about the world. But I'll start it off and say that New Albion, I mentioned earlier, has a queen, and she is very, very, very old. But for a long time, she's only been seen in projection form. So they have echo stones, which are like means of communication, and most of the world just has it as audio. But because of technological advances in New Albion, they actually have a way of projecting it, either kind of like 3D, projection out of the stone, or even a projection into their mind, like an overlay. And so Queen Helena is her name, and she has only been seen in projection form. There are many rumors about what has happened to the queen, if she's still alive, if she's still around, all of these sorts of rumors. But let's hear what rumors Tarquin and Lucinda have heard about Queen Helena.
Well, I heard the reason why no one has seen her for so long is because she's so old that to keep her alive, they've had to give her lots of cybernetic mech enhancements, which is frowned upon in New Albion. So no one can see her how she really looks. That's why they keep using these digital projections of her. So no one knows the truth.
That is ridiculous, Tarquin. Trust you to think of something like that.
No, the guys told me down the pub. That's exactly what it is.
A reliable source, as always.
Well, go on then, Lucinda. What do you think it is then?
Okay, well, I heard from a reliable source that the Queen of New Albion always dies in childbirth. And the reason that Queen Helena has not married is that she didn't want children. She wants to survive. However, she had a lover, and word is she had an illegitimate child.
Oh my God, what if it's Crawford?
Could well be.
Wait, but she didn't die. I don't understand. She had an illegitimate child, but she... Oh, right, yes. No, she died because...
And they can't tell anyone she died because the child's illegitimate.
Because that would reveal... Yes. Oh, Helena, what are you doing, love?
Fact. Riley's like, no.
Frivolous facts, more like frivolous rumors, am I right?
Yeah. Who could this mysterious, I don't know, child of the Queen, Prince of New Albion, who could that? I wonder who that might turn out to be.
Whoever it is, Tarquin has to marry them.
Oh my God, if Dad find out, he would totally make us do that because Daddy wants to social climb.
Maybe someday we'll get to hear what, if anything, happened to Queen Helena. Thank you, Phil and Alison, for joining me for this intro. But now, let's play that tape and recap episodes 1 through 69. So, you want to hear a story, eh? Oh, that's Marcus's thing. Well, I want to hear your story. Tell me a little about yourselves. We'll start. I'm Amir. I'm a Silver Fox arms dealer and your co-boss. I'm Randy, a half-human, half-orc that loves magic. I run a saloon and gather info from drunks and the like. Together, Amir and I run Friend Info Adventure Co. That's you guys.
I'm Fayleon, and this is my hummingbird pigeon. I'm a siren infuser, and that's all you need to know.
Good boy. I'm a psycho. I like going on adventures with my best pals. But when I'm not, I go to school with these folks.
Good one. Good joke. That was a joke, right? Well, I'm a Pisces, and I like robots. I mean, I really like robots. That's kind of how I became a mech pilot. It was a hobby at first, but maintenance is really expensive, so I figured why not use the mech for vol hunting? That's lucrative, right? Oh, my name? It's Mercurius. Mikhail Herbert, I hardly know Bert Mercurius. Just kidding. My middle name's Humberto.
And I'm sure you all know who I am. Tarquin Britstone, legendary assassin / necromancer. I used to have a wand, an arm, and a sword, but I lost them all in that order.
Oh, you were born with a robot eye like me? But I have 2 eyes, robot ones, the robot 2 eyes.
Right, yeah, I guess I lost that too, but I haven't told that story yet. It doesn't matter though, because I'm from New Albion, which automatically makes me better than you.
Ignoring that, let's start with your first mission together. How'd you all meet?
Medium rare.
I don't know what he's on about, but I was visiting a local artisanal establishment.
So probably some shitty bar.
Oh my god, you know it?
No, I just know you.
Well, that's fair. Well, anyway, one thing led to another, and I got in a fight. I screamed high, rolled low, and ended up on my ass in the street.
I was looking for a sweater for Pigeon.
I was looking for a lost skag. Then I heard some commotion and saw a skeleton, and that led to where the 3 of us met.
I was going to wizard school to be a wizard.
We looked into that, and he was in jail with the Dawn when Nettie broke them out in an underground tunnel.
Ugh, I hate her.
Oh, you knew my orientation professors?
Know her? I'm gonna kill her.
Then these 3 rained down from the sky, and we've been classmates ever since.
Right, you 4 thwarted Nettie, the Dawn's right-hand gal and necromancer, and stopped her from stealing a bunch of my guns, and that's when I hired you all to help with our Dawn problem.
Why was he bad again? Did we just kill this guy for money? I mean, I'm totally fine with that, by the way.
Did we never explain that to you? Okay, all right, this is going to take a minute. So, the Dawn deals drugs, does crime, has a huge organization that's just dedicated. It's the Red Herd, right? The Red Herd, they're so evil, and they want to take down the Council of Turds 2 hours later. And that's why the Dawn is bad.
Damn, I can't believe the Dawn blew up several orphanages just for funsies. Good thing we killed that guy for money.
Indeed. So, anyway, we decided to start by sabotaging some of the Don's key operations around town, which naturally pissed him off and drew the attention of his douchey jackpots.
Right, so using my expert law skills, we fooled the Sheriff Torium Guard into letting me, as Good Boy, as Tarquin in to talk to Nettie. Someone shot her in the knee, not naming names, Tarquin Horatio Britstone, making her the inaugural member of our Injured Woman Collection. She told us the only way to call off the jackpots was a favor from the Don himself, granted only on his daughter's wedding day, which just so happened to be the very next day.
That leads to me, Steeeeve, the hero of the story. I got you all into Polly's wedding, posing as caterers in exchange for pulling off a few pranks.
Right. Which ended up ruining the wedding.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
But that meant that Dawn wouldn't give us a favor, so we needed to find another way to get rid of those dumbass bots.
And that's when we kidnapped Polly.
Respectfully.
But at what cost? We had to kill the effervescent beauty that was Quiet Quinn. R.I.P., gone but not forgotten.
From there, it was piss easy to sneak into the Don's mansion, tickle him to death with a feather, and take out the rest of the robots. Score 1 for friend and foe.
After that, I enlisted your help with an elaborate heist where we took down the Seas 5, and I got my first vault key fragment.
Well, look who it is, Sir Drake Wilson, Vault Hunter Extraordinaire. You only show up when you want a distraction, so you can steal one of your precious vault keys, and then you just disappear off into the sunset. But I suppose you made it here to help us with this recap, am I right? Drake? Drake? God damn it.
Then there was the incident.
Oh, what? You mean when you let our Injured Women collection escape the basement and kidnap me?
And we had to rescue you, Randy, from that fire that burned down your bar, which I don't think you ever paid us for.
Yeah, we did a lot of rescuing that day because Nettie had Tarquin all tied up and we heroically debated at her.
Yeah, but not before she managed to kill me and give me this dumb sexism curse. Stupid slag. Oh, that's a 5. Anyway, turns out she wasn't the only one after revenge, as Ben caught up with us in the battle arena, slightly annoyed that we ruined his wedding. Go figure. While we made a killing in the arena,
I made a killing at the bookie's office.
Hey, Tarquin, I tried some of your weird ham. It was gross.
Ew.
Let's move on to Firehaven.
Right. We went and heroically started a union for the Firehaven miners that had unjustly been put out of work by the Alas Corporation.
And we met Steady, a drug dealer that would help us out in the mine. But that's later in the story.
They were also scared of me because of some siren queen or something.
Yeah, that was definitely the start of all the weird. Oh, did I mention I met the Siren Queen? I'm her favorite.
Only because you keep dying and she has to save your life all the time.
You're just jealous.
Of you dying all the time? Okay.
Hey, come on, we're all on the same team, remember? Besides, we're missing the point that this is where we got our main quest of murderizing the Siren Queen's disciples.
Although the Queen herself told me they're nothing to do with her, in person, because I met her and am her favorite.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that. Anyway, I killed the first disciple siphon by absorbing some iridium and infusing Pigeon with fire.
Then I heard a different voice from the ones I normally hear, and it told me to protect the vault.
Oh yeah, that was weird, wasn't it?
Oh, you heard voices too? I thought that was just a me thing. Because I'm Bartholomew's favorite.
Right, moving on. The other disciples weren't happy about this, so they destroyed Firehaven, killing almost everyone in the town. We did, however, manage to save a little girl, and she was from henceforth known as Her Royal Majesty Princess Consuela, first of her name, last of her kind, listener of bedtime stories, and all-round peach. Although, spoiler alert, we lost her. But again, that's later in the story.
She was a peach. We took her in and taught her the ways of the vault while she worked at Saloon Dion.
I think you mean you made her an indentured servant.
Tomato, tomato. While we did that, you all ghosted off into the loot realm with roleplay rejects for a goblin-filled adventure and found a new friend?
More like an acquaintance.
Stalker?
Bestie.
It's your gobzerkin buddy, Plunger.
Yay, verily. Subsequently, we embarked upon a great journey, and there was much rejoicing upon the vast and majestic Alaspis Express. We were to liberate the famed Black Echo Stone, containing the details of the world's most nefarious ne'er-do-wells.
We did get the Black Echo Stone. Unfortunately, a siren named Wynn tried to take it from us, but when she failed, she destroyed the train. It was awful.
Yeah, totally her fault. Not mine whatsoever. I had nothing to do with it, and neither did Pancake. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
And she wasn't even a disciple, just a bitch. Oh, that's a 3. Not like the love of my life, Adrian Stormheart. Our courtship was brief and alphabetical before she was tragically torn from this world. She didn't survive the crash, but she'll live on forever in my heart and tattoo.
I don't know about any of that, but I do know that you all helped me recover another vault key fragment from Grizz's body in an Indiana Jones-style adventure.
Oh yeah, the boob door.
By the way, are you ever going to tell us what you're doing with all these secret little vault key missions?
No.
All right, go ahead then, keep your secrets.
Then we got to play around in Everfalls before that mean half-orc lady trapped us in that pub.
A.k.a. Elena, another Siren Queen disciple and Dommy Mommy of the Frosty Flagon. Auga! She had us trapped doing fun little fetch quests for all eternity.
Fun for everyone except Todd. R.I.P. Todd.
Wait, who's Todd?
Lucky for you all, the Siren Queen's actual favourite person in the entire world single-handedly figured out what was actually happening. Turns out that Elena was using this blue gem called the Reality Gem to live out her past. But, with the unexpected help of Princess Consuela, I was able to get everyone out, and we iced her, lol. But unfortunately, Fayleon got to the gem before I could.
I mean, in hindsight, I wish I had not won that particular fight.
Yeah, then we wouldn't have had to been in the fire and lightning while in your mind village and see your mom die and pass on her siren powers to you, and I should stop talking.
Yeah. And Tarquin made it worse by blaming me the whole time.
All right, I'll admit, I got pissy, but we powered through and I gave you a hug, and I definitely didn't stab you.
Okay, but I did get shot, and it turns out it was by your very own sister.
She apologized.
Oh, and my very bestest friend in the whole wide world, Deimos, who I thought had died to save me in a flashback.
And my mayoral advisor person thing, Saylor Twift, for my flashback.
Hooray for our flashback friends, coming to save the day / shoot us in the heart.
Well, anyway, turns out they'd been manipulated into taking down an evil siren and had no idea that it was actually Fayleon.
Likely story.
And then there was a big battle with the Salamancas, and our flashback friends ended up staying behind to hold them off while we ran for our lives.
Wait,
what?
Oh, right. This is where you lost Princess Consuela.
Whoa there, sweet cheeks. We left her with you and Amir. She wasn't even supposed to be in Everfalls.
Okay. Let's agree we all dropped the ball on that one and move on.
Back at Geohold, Fayleon took a nap for a bit.
I was recovering from getting shot?
But soon enough, we had to get back to work and fix another mess.
Yeah, you know how we kind of got Firehaven all destroyed in that? So, turned out that Everfalls is like the source of all the water in the world.
Sounds entirely plausible.
And thanks to us, the world's faucet was now dried up and the surrounding lakes were frozen over. There's global shortages and the water economy, yes, there is such a thing, was on its arse.
A handful of greedy corporations were trying to control the ice, and therefore the remaining water.
Including Crystal Glaze, which just so happened to be run by my old school friend Bastien Montpellier.
Mr. Glitchy Face.
We attempted a hostile takeover of the company.
But basically ended up killing a load of people and breaking a load of shit.
There was much flocculation, wizards, and mimics.
At the final showdown, we had Bastien beat when suddenly a creepy mindworm thing crawled out of his eye.
Kevin!
It was so gross.
It turns out Bastien was being controlled all along. No matter what I said at the time, I knew my old buddy wouldn't have turned into such a dick. Honest. Apparently, the elite of New Albion were getting themselves mixed up in some serious elder god-worshipping cult shenanigans, and surprise, surprise, the world was at risk. Looks like the Siren Queen disciples would have to wait, because friend and foe were making a trip to the Britstone homeland.
Ah, yes, New Albion. The capital of New Albion is the capital, but I'm pretty sure it's the N and the A. The main exports are Britstones and sexism. Their national fish is the loudmouth bass.
Some of that's actually correct.
It was my 18th grade geometry report.
I think you mean geography.
That's a great hypotenuse.
But first we needed some supplies. Luckily, the black echo stone that I swiped from the train had the perfect contact, quantum. After he made us do some quests, we had to pay him for some fake IDs and stuff to get into New Albion.
We made it into the capital, set ourselves up at the Silver Fox, and Tarquin and I did some investigative drinking.
Well, Good Boy and I actually found a lead. The Van Hoffs had commissioned a portrait. We were going to track down the artist Ivan to get some info, but what we found was disturbing.
Yes, the brushstrokes were quite rudimentary, the choice of colors simply basic, and, well, the overall composition was rather lackluster.
Well, that's subjective. I'm talking about Ivan. His eyes were gone, just creepy, empty black holes, and all he could do was ramble on about the darkness.
We put Van in a bag and kept him as a pet.
You mean Ivan?
I thought you said his eyes were gone, though.
Ugh. Someone else talk, please.
We all got together, delivering the portrait and the painter to the Van Hoff's apartment. But in true friend and foe fashion, things didn't exactly go to plan. We ended up getting sucked off to some weird dark dimension where everyone experienced their own personal fears. It was awful.
Fayleon?
Whoa, it wasn't me. I somehow ended up on the other side of the vault in Firehaven and had to fight my way back with some new sirens.
We sang a song about the darkness, and the portrait lady made me leave my box.
Dude, we can get you a new box.
Yeah, it won't smell the same.
Well, we needed you to deal with the cult shit, and the Shadow King was going to eat you.
Thankfully, the super incredible, super awesome Brenda Van Hoff was nice enough to save the three of us.
Yeah, but not out of the kindness of her heart. Brenda worships these ancient fuckers, so in exchange for our freedom, we have to help her cult of the old gods get rid of Lucas Montpellier and his cult of the new gods.
Things are definitely a bit culty right now.
After I went through the vault and visited Firehaven, I got a message from Randy telling me to join you back at the Capitol for a little competition for some reason.
It's to help us get into a party with a heavy cult presence and get us closer to Lucas.
We got to dress up as ladies with our friends. There was Lucinda, Saylor's cats, and my old pal Deimos.
Plunger was there too.
Yeah. I still don't know why my sister and her friends were there, but they really wanted to win the title of Dungeon Drag Queen.
And I forget, who won?
Only because you outperformed us.
That's obviously how it works.
Anyway, that brings us to now.
Thanks to me, we now have access to some rich person's party, but I can only bring one of you as my +1. Maybe I'll just bring Pigeon.
Friend and Foe Adventure Co. values your efforts so far. Hopefully you have more success from here on.
Hey, if you're not happy with how we do things, you should just hire a B team to go and do missions instead. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that's being looked into.
We're getting paid for this recap, right?
Thank you, badasses, for listening. We really appreciate it. This was really fun. We hope you enjoyed this recap. I'm sure there's a million things that you guys could list off that we missed out on in this recap, but we wanted to just give this quick overview of it. So thank you for listening, whether you're new or one of our faithful listeners from the beginning. Stick around. There will be some bloopers at the end. You can follow us on social media at FF Adventure Co. on most social media places. If you enjoyed the show, like and review it. We would love to read what you thought. You can join our Discord and interact with us there. There's also episode chats for each episode that comes out. So even if you're listening for the first time, you can go back and chat in those threads for each episode, and you don't have to worry about spoilers for the future episodes. And you can find links to all of that in the episode description. We have a link tree on there. You can just click on that and go there. We're also sponsored by Zencastr. That's how we record all of our episodes. So if you've ever wanted to start a podcast, Zencastr is what I recommend. Number one, my favorite thing. It cleans up the audio. It gives you a way to record the audio, right? So like we're all in different places, different states, different countries. So Zencastr allows us to record remotely, and it does an awesome job cleaning up the audio. We have the paid version thanks to our Ultimate Badasses on our Patreon. That helps with editing. It'll help clean up some of the audio quality. It's going to help us remove some filler words and remove some long pauses. It is such a great tool. I highly recommend it. You can also host your podcast on there and get analytics on it. If you want us to get credit for it, we can get a little kickback if you end up doing a paid membership. But either way, if you're doing a free one or not, you can go into our episode description and there's a Zencastr link that will give us credit for referring you. And that's a way that we're, sponsored by Zencastr. So thank you, Zencastr, both for the sponsorship and for giving us this awesome tool for which we can record our podcast. I mentioned earlier that we have a Patreon, which you can join at a free level or a $5 level. And the $5 level is the Ultimate Badass level. That gets you access to exclusive episodes. One adventure where we did a hot sauce adventure. We had to eat increasingly hotter hot sauces as we played based on what we rolled and what happened in the story. And then we have some behind the scenes chats. Let me ask you a question. We talk about arcs throughout the show. We also have a short story on there called The Forgotten Apiary. It was written by Phil, and it's a prequel story with his character, Tarquin, and his sister, Lucinda. It's really fun. It's genuinely really good. Phil's an amazing writer. We only have a limited number of signed physical copies. So if you sign up at the Ultimate Badass level, we will send you one of those if we still have them. Currently, what's been airing on the Ultimate Badass level has been Ian Moss, who is the lead designer of Bunkers and Badasses. He plays Drake Wilson in the show, and as Drake Wilson, he is BMing bunker mastering for the rest of the party, including my character, Plunger. He's running them through an adventure in the source book called Honey Heist, and it's spelled Hunny heist, right? Not the classic Honey. And that has been hilarious. So if you want to, you can join at the Ultimate Badass level for $5, get to listen on all that. If you can't afford to support us financially, but if you just want to support our Patreon, there's a free level that you can join at, and that still gets you access to some things, and some more things will become available at the free level. But one of the things we're offering now is that if you sign up at any level, you can make in-world commercials. So you would write up a little bit of a script, record like a 15 to 60 second fake commercial, and then send it to me, and I would edit it and put it together as a commercial, and we would insert it in at like the ad break type thing, and it would just play as like something that would something that they would hear in an echo cast in their world. So one last thing, I was on Roleplay Rejects the other month, and I got to play a really fun and entertaining adventure with them. It was just a one shot where we played as kind of like Lovecraftian chickens. We were chickens that got these Lovecraftian type powers, and it was very entertaining, very funny, very silly. You should definitely go listen to that. I don't know exactly what the episode number is, but it's after their Call of Cthulhu campaign, and the episode is called Something is Wrong with the Chickens Side Quest. Thank you to Kyle, who does our music, Vault Hunter. That is about to play. That's our theme song. You can listen to him at Mega Mac Music on YouTube or on SoundCloud. All right, that's it. Remember, being a badass means being there when someone's feeling low and not being afraid to kick them.
Vault Hunter, I'll watch watch your back if you watch mine, Vault Hunter. Those bandits better run and hide. You got your 20-sided die. You got a sparkle in your eye. You got your guns. Let's get some.
Okay, Riley, you need to decide which of us had the better rumor.
Oh my goodness.
Just if you were going to pick a favorite child, which would it be?
Oh no, this is so hard because
Which child have you known the longest, Riley? I think is the deciding factor there.
you're right. So I should pick Lucinda's because I've known you too long.
I'm Fayleon, and this is my hummingbird pigeon. I'm a siren influencer, and that's all you need to know. Oh, shit.
Influencer.
Oh,
I barely know her.
got it in my head. Do I have to do it again?
I used to have a wand, an arm, and a sword, but I lost them all in that order. Doesn't matter though, because I'm from New Albion, which automatically makes me better than you.
You also lost an eye.
When that happened? Do we know?
We have not recorded an adventure for it, but you have lost an eye. That's in your picture, right?
That is true. Okay, yeah.
Poop. Doesn't matter though, because I'm from New Albion, which automatically makes me better than you. Boop.
Is dumbass one word? Hyphen?
I think so.
I mean, I think any way works. The only time you look like a dumbass writing dumbass is if you leave out the B.
Yeah.
I think if there was a space, it'd be like those dumb ass robots. My favorite kind.
This is I guess I'll read it. Hey, Tarquin, I tried some of your weird ham. It was gross.
Wait a minute. Wasn't the ass ham was after the roleplay rejects stuff?
I thought it was only fans.
Oh, you cut the tip of the penis. You cut the tip of, you circumcised.
Wasn't it the troll?
The troll's penis.
I don't.
Ew.
Anyway.
I was thinking of the ass ham, but this is way worse. I feel like, were you about to object to this, Matt?
No.
You okay eating dick? You cool with eating some foreskin?
We will all understand if you kumquat that.
I mean, I think if anybody would, they would probably be good boy. So
I think we were all thinking of the ass ham. Like, that's the line. Like, ass ham is okay. Foreskins is not okay.
Foreskin is not.
Boop. Let's move on to... what?
Let's move on to About Firehaven.
What the fuck am I?
No one snuck in there.
Boop. Yeah, that was definitely the start of all the weird. Did I mention I met the Siren Queen? I'm her favorite.
Only because you keep dying and she has to save your life all the time.
You're just jealous.
Oh, we just wrote snapback because we couldn't come up with... That's right. Because we couldn't come up with anything and we knew you would have something sassy to say back. Snapback.
I just feel like I'd be like, of you dying all the time? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity.
Oh my gosh. So good. That's better than anything we would have written.
That's so much better than what we were. Yep, we had nothing.
But like, who's Todd?
Todd's the one that
the
died.
guy that you went on all the missions with.
He wasn't a vault hunter. He was just a normal guy that was like, yeah, I'm just gonna try it. He was just like a super nice, normal person that was trapped in there with you all.
Okay.
Boop. We all dropped the ball.
Dopped?
We all dropped the ball.
Oh
Yeah,
no, I
dropped
dropped the ball.
Boop. Who's Quantum?
That elf thing.
We don't talk about quantum.
Boop.
We sang a song about the darkness and the portrait lady We sang a song about the darkness and the portrait lady made me leave my box.
We can get you a new box.
Yeah, it won't smell the same.
Well, we need you to...